Hello, everyone. Let's talk a bit about Clive Davis, the music mogul. Clive Davis was actually one of the few music executives that actually became known and popular outside of the boardroom. And not unfortunately, because he was actually 94. Okay, so he was of age, he grown really well. And I really enjoy his work and his life, and he believed in music, and he remained consistent, and he never left, because if you believe in something you remain consistent and you just keep going no matter what. So Clive Davis has actually passed at the age of 94, and may his soul rest in perfect peace. He slept with family, his children call him daddy, granddaddy, and they really cherish his love, and he's the center of their life. All right, and yes, so we join the rest of the entertainment industry, wishing him all the best. Like, he's an old age man, he's 94. So he really championed a lot of music legend, which we are going to be talking about. I mean, everybody knows Whitney Houston was one of them. Whitney Houston was one of them, and Alicia Key, when Alicia Key needed help. And there was another guy, that they have a lot of name. Who is that guy? He championed a lot anyway. So he's a mogul and he did really well. Can you believe that he used to be a lawyer? Springsteen. That is who I wanted to mention. Sly, and then Santana. I mean, everybody all over the world. I think you all know who Clive Davis is. When they said he passed, I said, wow, finally he's gone to rest. And yeah, it's just so sad that Didi, because I think he had another amazing relationship with Didi, in the music industry, and Didi is in jail and what have you. I bet he never really came out to speak about whatever happened and what not. Probably now that he's no longer here, maybe people will actually see something. I have no idea. All right. So thank you so much. Let's get into it. So yeah, so that's Clive Davis. Clive Davis is he is a music mogul behind Whitney Houston's and Bruiser Springsteen. He is actually the champion behind their careers, and with amazing lot of or musicians rather, that are in the industry. He really helped them, inspired them. He brought them in, he shepherded them, he taught them everything. So again, as we have mentioned, Clive Davis, one of the most influential music executives in the history of rock and pop, has died at the age of 94. And may his soul rest in peace. Well, we will still say our condolences to all his families, even though, you will like to have your old ones around forever and ever. But hey, when life happens, especially when they are old and they live well, we just thank God for everything. So our condolences to the families anyway, and to all well wishers in the entertainment industry. And a former head of Columbia and Arista Records, he signed and shaped the careers of artists including Aretha Franklin, Bruce Springsteen, Bill Joel, Whitney Houston, Santana, Janis Joplin, Christina Aguilera, Alicia Keys, and many others. He had recently been in hospital for respiratory problem, and was recovering at home in Manhattan, New York, when he died. He died when he actually passed away. He was at home. He was previously admitted due to respiratory issues, and then he was discharged before his family actually said, he passed, according to the family. So to the world, our father was the iconic music legend whose vision, instincts, and relentless pursuit of excellence shaped the soundtrack of countless lives, they said in a statement. Mhm. He discovered, mentioned, and championed the greatest artists in modern music industry, leaving an indelible mark of culture that we endure for generations. In fact, that's true because everywhere is Clive Davis, Clive Davis, Clive Davis. Like, my goodness, like, what is the secret behind this man's success? So now, to his family, they said Clive was our dad, our granddaddy, the steady presence, at the center of their lives. And like, he's a source of wisdom, strength. They draw strength and wisdom, encouragement, and unconditional love from him. Unconditional love is good. Unconditional love is the best. So among those paying tribute was Bruce Springsteen. In a post on Instagram, the born in the USA singer said he was mourning the death of a great record man and a close friend. At 22-year-old, he changed my life. And this was this was Bruce, sorry, pronunciation, Bruce Springsteen. It was, he took to his Instagram Instagram page, and made a post how he's actually mourning the death of Clive Davis. He was 21 when he actually came across Clive Davis, and Clive changed his life forever. So he said he was mourning the death of a great record man and a close friend. At 22 years old, he changed my life when he signed me to Columbia Records. Springsteen wrote, he treated me with the same respect and kindness as a 22-year-old. Nobody has he did after all my nobody has actually did treated Bruce Springsteen uh, as a respectable individual as uh, as Clive Davis had done, in regards to what Springsteen was saying here. How he goes, he treated me with the same respect and kindness as a 22-year-old. Nobody has he did after all my success. A great man indeed. And another former client and rock iconoclast, Patty Smith, also posted on Instagram following the news, which was, I believe it was 2 days ago. We have been really busy, otherwise we will have come out and talk about it. All right. So so now with Patty Smith also posted on Instagram following news of his death. Oh, thanking Clive Davis for transforming music, and on a very personal note, for believing in me, shepherding my efforts, and a half century of your love and support. Isn't that amazing? For somebody to actually believe and trust in your dream and shepherding you along. That's amazing. And this is for century, not a decade, for century. That was an amazing work, all right? So they go 5 times. Clive Davis changed the course of music. 5 notable times, Clive Davis changed the course of music. Clive Davis was born in Brooklyn on April 4, so he's an April baby, 1932. He grew up in the Crown Heights neighborhood. He graduated from Harvard Law School and had no knowledge of the music industry. When he took a job at Columbia Record at the age of 28, you guys listening? There, he took night classes to educate himself on copyright law, contracts, and litigation. Davis used the knowledge to help defeat a federal antitrust suit over Columbia's mail order record club, and successfully persuaded Bob Dylan to remain with the label after his original deal became void when the singer turned 21. This is how his career started. Mhm. Is God the natural hair? He was promoted to vice president of the record label in 1965, and shortly after he became president. Among the arts he signed were Santana, Aerosmith, Pink, Pink Floyd, and Springsteen, giving the label a new lease of life. Isn't that amazing? I didn't necessarily have an ear, but I think I developed one, he later said. Whether there was a natural ear, that means EAR for hearing, that was triggered, I don't know the answer to that. But over when you see a Joplin or a Springsteen, you know. Amazing. Mm. So now David had a reputation for supporting artists, but his decisions could sometimes ruffle feathers. So I mean, yeah. After he played back for Simon and Garfunkel's fifth album in 1970, he told the August artist that Cecilia shouldn't be the first single. This is what he was telling the group, that Cecilia shouldn't be their first single. I felt Cecilia would be a hit, but Bridge over Troubled Water was something more. He later told Simon biographer Robert Hilburn, yes, it was a ballad. Yes, it was lengthy, he added in a separate interview with the New York Times. But you've got to know, when you have a home run, you can't play everything by the rules. You can't play everything by the rules. You guys hear that? 2 years later, he provided invaluable career advice to Bruce Springsteen, who had recently signed to Columbia for the princely sum of 25,000 American dollars. So, watching the musician perform an early showcase, Davis noted that he rarely stepped away from the microphone and offered the suggestion. I said, don't do it. This is the advice that Clive actually offered Bruce Springsteen. It's like watching the musician perform an early showcase. Davis, which is Clive Davis, noted that he rarely stepped away from the microphone and offered the suggestion. I said, don't do it if it's not natural for you. But I know that the potential of the songs would lend itself to more physical movement on your part. Davis later recalled to People magazine. A couple of weeks later, he went back to watch Springsteen at a club in Greenwich. I was flabbergasted, he said. He jumped on every table. He was wilding Dervish. It was not just the movement, it was the spirit of it. It was electrifying. Afterwards, Davis went to speak to Springsteen backstage. Isn't that lovely? I think that was amazing. I got the dressing room. I remember opening the door and him looking up saying, Clive, did I move around enough for you tonight? So despite the success, he was ousted from Columbia when the company accused him of using company funds to pay for personal expenses, including his son's bar, mitzvah. So Davis was actually charged with 6 counts of tax evasion. He pleaded guilty on 1 count and was otherwise exonerated. Right? So within months, Davis had set up his own label, Aristar. He immediately achieved commercial success by signing Barry Manilow and critical acclaim for releasing Barry Smith's influential debut album, Horses. We have heard how Barry Smith actually, she took to her Instagram to actually, championed and said how Clive Davis has actually championed her career for a long time. So that is how Clive Davis has touched the life of so many artists of like generations. So that Midas touch continued throughout his career, but it was often fueled by hard work. Davis signed with Newstein in 1983 when she was just 19 years old, then spent years hunting for producers and writers who could make the most of her voice. When her self-titled debut album was finally released in 1985. It contained three US number one singles: Saving All My Love for You, How Will I Know, and Greatest Love of All. And all those three singles were a hit up till now. They are very refreshing. You can play it at any time. According to Sony, it sold more than 25 million copies worldwide. Its instinct paid off again when Houston released her cover of Dolly Parton's I Will Always Love You. Davis insisted that the song should start with a 40-second cappella against the wishes of producer David Foster, who worried the decision would harm its chance of radio play. It subsequently became her biggest selling song, topping the US singles chart for 14 weeks and the UK chart for another 10. Houston remained close with Davis throughout her life, and the mogul said he had attempted an intervention after she took a non-fatal overdose in 1997. Now, Stanley Tucci played Davis in the 2022 Houston biopic, I Wanna Dance with Somebody. Amazing. Although Davis once admitted that he had never get rap music, Arista made inroads into hip hop and urban music thanks to a deal with producers like Babyface and Ellie Reed, who brought acts like Outkast, Usher, and TLC to the offshoot label LaFace Records. And Davis signed a 50-50 deal with Sean Diddy. Hey, Sean, your name is here. After Davis signed a 50-50 deal with Sean Diddy Combs' label, Bad Boy Records, yeah, which added acts like Notorious B.I.G. and Faith Evans to the roster in the 90s before Diddy's conviction on prostitution-related charges last year. In 1999, Davis actually helped Mexican-American guitarist Carlos Santana land a late career hit with his comeback album Supernatural. This guy is really influential, and he went to school to study law, and look at what he's doing. When you actually when it comes, it just comes natural to you. With an ear, that means ear, for hearing, with an ear attuned to pop radio, he persuaded Santana to record duets with contemporary guest vocalists, including Lauren Hill, Rob Thomas, and Eagle Eye Sherry. Thanks in part to the worldwide hit Smooth, it sold more than 15 million copies and scooped a Grammy for Album of the Year. Amazing. Again, he has that. He's kind of like like a psychic that kind of have it. Like when he sees something, you know. That's Clive I'm talking about, all right? So now in 2000, the year 2000, Davis left Arista to found J Records, which was responsible for launching acts including Alicia Keys and Maroon 5 to superstardom. He would later become chief creative officer of Sony Music Records. Over a 60-year career, Davis worked and Davis' work actually earned him. That is over 60 years. That is like 6 decades, darling. Over 60-year career, Clive Davis' work earned him 5 Grammy Awards, and he was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as a non-performer in the year 2000. His Grammy parties, first held in 1976, marked some of the biggest nights in the music industry calendar. This year, this year's gala held in California boasted a guest list that included Joni Mitchell, John Legend, Olivia Dean, Lafay, Art Garfunkel, Jennifer Austin, Jelly Roll, and Ensemble. Speaking in 2016, he said that the secret of his career was trusting in music, no matter how the industry changed. Music is a necessary ingredient in people's life. He told the talks, which is true. Music is universal. Music connects every one of us together. Music, music, music. Yes, music is the only one. Is that particular only one language that we all understood one another that brings us together or brought us together. Amazing. Yes, it's right. So no matter what revolution is occurring in technology, it has to understand that music will not be obsoleted. People need music, and they've needed it for many years in many different ways. Whether you go back to church, like whether you go back to church tradition, right? He's talking about there, or other traditions in life, is a very, very natural basic ingredient that's essential to the full enjoyment of life. That is amazing. And I believe all the lives that uh Mr. Clive Davis has touched will they will miss him, and they missed him, and they keep missing him, they mourning him, and may so actually rest in perfect peace. I mean, he really had a very long career in music. Someone that actually set out to be a lawyer, that went to law school, and eventually, he was hired by Columbia Records. Now he was taking evening classes to learn certain things in order to get Columbia Record off hook. And before you know it, one thing led to another. He became really successful in what he actually does, and then he rose, to the president, and one thing to another. The rest is history, and he spent 60 years, 60 decades on that particular career. So, this is how things happen in life. So allow things to be natural. Whatever that you enjoy doing, it doesn't have to be stress. It just come naturally. Just be you and just enjoy. Everything will fall into places. All right. Thank you so much. And may the soul of Clive Davis actually rest in peace. So you guys have seen, did he actually come in here? They have a 50-50 deal, because Clive Davis doesn't do hip hop and all those things. So he has a way of bringing those individual that knows about hip hop, and then the signing. They have their deal, and everything was fine. So hey, potato, potato. Thank you so much. So that is all we have to share with you. And thank you so much. Our source is BBC, all right? So you can go and do your own research, all right? So may the soul of Clive Davis rest in perfect peace. And may you be enjoying, be enjoying wherever your soul is, okay? And rest in perfect peace. Again, our sincere condolences to your family, to the family of Clive Davis. He's a grandpapa. He's a granddada. Thank you, everybody. Don't forget to like and more for more exclusive content. Thank you so much for all of our subscribers on YouTube. You guys are amazing at Ellen Global Media. You all are amazing on TikTok and Facebook. You all are amazing. Thank you so much. Make sure you put your notification buttons on, so that whenever we actually upload, you will be the first person to actually see all of our amazing chats. And don't forget to click and like for more. You guys take care. At 94, Clive Davis has checked out. God bless you guys. Bye now.